Hey guys, I'm James.
And I'm Corwyn.
And welcome to This Movie's Gay. Oh, we got it right this time.
Well, that's because, you always like cut me off when I say, hey guys, or hey everybody. You're always like, no, you're doing it wrong.
No, it's because you come in sounding much like Rachel Weisz on this, sounding like you've taken Ambien and just going, hey guys. And I'm like,
my life is on Ambien.
Oh, you are not living correctly then,
I'm
sir.
living my best life. I'm very chill. Always.
Yeah, because you're on Ambien.
I'm not on Ambien. I said my life is Ambien.
Oh, I thought you said my life is on Ambien.
Well, basically, but not actually on the pills.
That's drugs, sir, and
it's not on the drugs.
Where are my handcuffs?
Like life is my
arrest.
drug.
Citizen's arrest on you.
Is Ambien? No, that's an actual prescription.
No, if you're this is actually a real question. If you're not prescribed a drug, is it illegal for you to have?
These are questions that I don't know how to answer.
I don't.
But I'm going to...
Our guest is going, no, I don't either.
We have a lovely guest today. Before we get into that, I'm going to talk a little bit about what we're doing because it is not as of today, but when this recording comes out, it will be Pride Month in Chicago, and I believe World Pride.
I don't know.
I should have done more research.
Corwyn, actually, can I do one quick? Do you want to know what? No, that's an off. It's not a bad thing, but it is an off mic thing.
So World Pride is, I mean, technically it's just the weekend, but it's the month. So yeah, June, and that takes place in New York, actually. So for Pride Month, there are 4 Mondays, and we're just gonna spell out. We're gonna try to do our best with spelling out LGBT. We know there are a lot more letters and a lot more things.
There's an S. No, there's an A and an I and a plus
Q
sign.
And a plus sign. There's a lot.
Yeah. LGBT. Oh, yep, you're right. We're missing the Q as well.
But there are 4, so we're gonna do that, and hopefully get some nice inclusive movies that do have a lot of representation in them. We're also hoping to have a lot of guests that are queer and have queer experiences and things like that, that can speak to different aspects of these movies more than I can specifically speak to myself, and more than James can speak to as a cis straight man, and me speak to as a cis gay man. So we're bringing in hopefully a lot of guests and things, celebrating Pride and talking about what Pride means to us and what Pride means to our guests and things like that. So that is what you've got to look forward to throughout this month, these next 4 episodes. We hope we line that up nicely with the last 2 episodes with the movie Pride and then the movie Love, Simon, hopefully going into a lot of these that are either culturally significant or speak to us in various ways. So for this first episode, we've got The L, a nice lesbian movie that we found. We actually had a few different movies to choose from.
Yeah, I was going to say movies that speak to us. It was just whatever trailer looked the best.
Well, one specifically, I did narrow it down to a few movies.
Yeah.
That was one of the movies that I narrowed it down. I do not personally have a very large collection of lesbian movies that I have personally watched and everything, because a lot of what I focused on when I was growing up and coming to terms with myself and all that were gay movies because I could see myself in those. So that's also why I've been a little hesitant to play lesbian movies on this podcast without having a guest here that can speak to those, because I'm like, I am not someone that can speak on those with a degree of, I don't know,
poignancy. I don't know if that's a word.
Like a degree of like, I know this, I have say in this or anything like that.
Well, that's why you just do what I do. You make goofs.
James is here for the goofs. I'm here for the talky talk. So yeah, I'm glad that we were able to bring in a good friend of mine. It is my friend here.
Me, I'm Rachel. Hi. How's
Hey,
everybody
Rachel.
doing?
Yes, we all met at work.
Yeah, basically.
No, actually, I left that job before you. Yeah, well,
Correct.
No, you left that job
work
before I started that job.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know you through one of my old managers, and I lived with you for a bit. So
That's correct.
That's how we know
got
each
it.
other. Yeah. So Rachel, great friend, and she came and helped us pick this movie. We
that
specifically
was a process. That was a
we had a
process.
lot of them. We were trying to find something that had a lot of diversity in it and had something that we thought we would enjoy and all of that, we settled on the movie Disobedience.
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 Disobedience. James
What's the
can't spell.
discussion of disobedience?
We picked the wrong movie.
It was a fine movie.
We watched a different movie then.
It stars Rachel McAdams and Rachel Weisz, and it was
promising.
I think, produced.
Yeah.
Rachel Weisz was in part a producer and all of that as well. It's based on a book. It is an interesting movie. But we ultimately decided on that, and we were like, oh, yeah, it lines up. My friend Rachel, and then we're watching the Rachels.
Yeah, we got the three Rachels.
So we got the three Rachels that we've been...
third. Oh, wait. To the
third power.
Yeah.
Rachel to the third power.
To the third gay power.
The third gay power.
I feel like that will enhance my power.
Ooh, that's like Dynastud.
Yes.
Nice. I like that. That works.
It's Rachel cubed.
Yes, that's the word I was looking for, not third.
I know math, y'all.
Can I do one quick follow-up from last week?
So James wants to do a follow-up. I just wanted to introduce kind of what we're doing for the month, and then this movie specifically.
I think Rachel is also into stuff like this. Harry Potter, do you like it?
I know that he lived in a closet.
Okay, then. I was just
seen
assuming
snippets of the movies at work.
Okay.
So I know more stuff goes down. I don't know in what order, though.
Usually... Everyone is super... people who I'm like, oh, they're not going to be into Harry Potter. No. It seems like everyone's super into it. But I don't know what house I'm a part of. And Nina and Corwyn were super like, what are you talking about, James? So TC was here. We had some time to kill. TC, what the hell, mouth? And I said, hey, during this time, I will take the Pottermore quiz. Who has time for this? It was so many questions. I kept going.
What quiz did you take? Because the Pottermore quiz is like 5 seconds.
No, it is not.
It takes so short amount of time.
You can determine your house in 5 seconds?
That's how the quiz was when I took it.
No,
it was just so short.
This took forever. And guess what?
Did you just take a Myers-Briggs test?
No.
How many questions did you have? 100? Like,
it was.
Also, how long is it taking you to get through the questions?
It was like,
it's not long.
Well, it was. You do a question, then it would have to. This is what it was. It wasn't on Pottermore, but it was the Pottermore quiz questions on a different website. Yes.
It sounds like a third-party website.
It sounds like you got scammed.
Scam. It was still the same questions. They just took those questions and then put them on their own website because you needed a login for Pottermore. I wasn't going to do that. And
scammed, y'all.
Any house you have to log into is not a house you want to be a part of.
Customer service, we all know. Original website. Don't get scammed by a third party.
So I kept going. I'm maybe 75% through. Click on my answer, and guess what it says? Sorry, connection error. You got to start over. And then I said, nah, dude. I don't know what house I'm in.
Just pick a house. Can you just pick?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, just where do you see yourself?
I feel like a Ravenclaw. Meow.
That's a bird.
Yeah, but cats have claws.
Okay, so let's go through the houses real quick. You've got Gryffindor, which
Ravenclaw.
It's
that's
the
me.
It's the lion. It's the one Harry Potter and Ron is in. It's
Meow.
about bravery, courage, that kind of stuff. Then you've got Ravenclaw, that's about wisdom, knowledge.
Claws, meow.
Me. I think that's the
wisdom,
one you want to be in.
Things like that. Then you've got Slytherin, that's about cunning, ambition. And then you got Hufflepuff, that's kind of like loyalty, friendship, everything else.
Ooh, I want to choose Hufflepuff.
I'm a Hufflepuff.
It sounds fun to say too, but you know what? I think I'm thinking of Jigglypuff.
Yeah,
and
probably
then Hufflepuff.
A little bit. Yeah,
so maybe I shouldn't pick that one.
The common thing is that the Hufflepuff house is the stoner house.
Oh, okay.
So when I read the books, I was like, I'm a Hufflepuff, y'all. I'm a Hufflepuff.
Now, were you reading these under the influence or?
No.
Oh, okay.
That was when I was reading them as a kid.
Okay,
but I was reading them specifically because I'm saying Hufflepuff specifically because in the fourth book you've got Cedric Diggory, who is Robert Pattinson, who plays Edward Cullen, all that, whatever. You've got Cedric Diggory, who signs up for the Triwizard Tournament and is actually doing really well. And in all of that, he's kind of a badass, but he's nice. And I'm like, yeah, badass. And then in a later book, you've got this other kid. I think his name is Zachariah, but he's in the Dumbledore's army and stuff. And every time Harry comes up to like teach them shit, he's like, "The fuck, Harry? You know like 2 spells. You know like 2 spells. Like what are you doing?" And Harry does know like 2 spells.
Yeah, but that's because Harry needs to survive. He doesn't
He
have
knows
time to cram books.
Spells.
Yeah, the 2 spells you need to know to survive.
But the whole point is, Zachariah Smith, I think that was his name. He was a little shit, and he was a Hufflepuff. And I'm like, the sassy little shit? Yep, that's me. I'm the sassy little shit. I'm the sassy little shit Hufflepuff. That's what it is.
Guys, I also don't know really anything about Harry Potter. Please don't come at me if you think I'm either defending Harry or not defending Harry. I don't care either way.
And then when I took the Pottermore quiz the first time, I got Ravenclaw. And I'm like,
meow.
Okay. Why are you doing a cat? It's a raven. Jesus.
I also did it for
What
the snake.
sound do ravens make?
Like
meow.
a claw.
Yeah, but a claw makes
Like
a
caw.
meow.
The claw makes the meow?
Yeah.
Okay.
You should. Inspector Gadget.
Ravens also have claws.
Yes, but Inspector Gadget, the claw, he had a cat meow.
Yeah, but that has nothing to
This
do
is a
with Harry
crossover.
Potter, James.
Yeah, Slytherin, guess what? They have talons, meow. You know,
Jesus.
tooth talons.
I hope you just get crucified online for this.
Oh.
I hope people are like, James,
are
how
just
fucking
weeping.
dare
No,
you?
I take the quiz and then it says, you got crucified, dude.
They won't let you
died.
take the quiz. You try and log on, and now every Harry Potter
banned.
fan is like, no.
You're banned.
I'm
Just
You're
fine
banned.
with
no,
that.
you can't do it.
Oh, yes. You want to know what? Give me the hate. That will give us more retweets of people saying how dumb I am, and hoo-hoo, that gives us more exposure.
So-
Tell a friend.
The first time I took the quiz, I got Ravenclaw, and I was like, what the fuck? Well, that's fine. I do have those tendencies as well. And then they updated the quiz because they were like, oh, we updated it because it's not quite giving people what we want it to give or whatever. So after they revamped it, added more questions, all of that, I took it again and I got Hufflepuff. So vindication in my
AKA
Hufflepuff.
a bunch of kids cried that they didn't get Gryffindor. They got Slytherin.
No, it was just like other quizzes online were better and like more in line with the books
Oh,
and stuff.
so,
It sounds like there should
third-party
be
site.
one main page with one main test.
Well, that's what
Pottermore
Pottermore's
is,
trying
yeah.
to do.
That's what they're doing.
That's the
Then
affiliated
how did you get
one.
on that other website?
You also could have taken the BuzzFeed quiz, which is the same questions and doesn't crash your computer and takes all of 2 minutes to take.
Yes, no, it was like Buzz something quizzes.
I think you were on
no.
some weird ass
Not
site.
Buzz something.
Not Buzz. You were on a weird. It takes 2 minutes
You was
to
just
take
on
this
Buzz.
quiz.
It was just Buzz.
It would be in
Buzz.com.
my what did I houses quiz? I don't know what I googled.
Jesus.
Discover your. I went to Hogwarts sorting quiz. So let's see what I clicked on. Playbuzz.com.
Yeah, that's not
That
BuzzFeed.
sounds very.
It has
very
buzz in
fake.
it, guys.
That's
And let me
the wrong kind of buzz you
hold on.
want.
Let me see how many questions there were, if it even told me. But it says Pottermore version on it. It is the Potter. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's a random website trying to sell you shit, James.
No, it's not. No, it doesn't sell me anything.
Does it have ads?
Well, yeah,
It's trying to
place
sell
has
you
ads.
shit, James.
As long as you didn't put in like the last 4 of your socials.
Has 27
And your address, you
questions.
should
That's
be
a
okay.
fuck ton.
That takes 2 minutes, James.
No, it doesn't. Okay, actually we can see when that gets to 15 minutes.
The
let's
point of the
see.
quiz is you're supposed to read the question and go, which one fits best? This one, this one,
Maybe
this
he's
one,
taking a
this
lot
one.
of time
he's like
to
taking,
really
he's like,
Hold
dig
on.
in
like,
It's
deep.
about
what
to
do
get
I
to 15.
really-
Okay, right?
What do I really want to save?
Now, okay,
I want to
what
save.
would you want to be remembered as? Great, wise, good, bold. I guess like
You're taking too
Good.
long. You should have answered that already.
okay, what would you not want to be remembered as? Ignorant, cowardly, ordinary, selfish, I guess. Yeah, selfish. No,
This
get
is
out
why
of here.
it's taking forever.
And the ads. The ads
If you
slow
were
you
to
down
choose
too.
a potion, which would you choose?
You have to watch a video to get
a
to
wisdom,
the next
power,
question.
glory, I guess.
And that takes at least 2 minutes.
He's just taking
How would you
forever
want
to answer
people
these.
to remember you? It's so dumb.
That sounds like the first question.
Yeah, I know.
Also, you can read this a lot faster than you're speaking, so I don't
opinion.
know what's
No,
happening
I-
right
He
now.
No.
needs to read it, process it,
Think of my
and
achievements.
then he can answer
I
it.
guess think of my achievements.
It's going to be skewed because he's just taking so long
what
to
sense
decide.
bring you comfort? And then see home part. I guess home. I love to be at home. And then there are these huge questions. You're given 4 boxes, but only to open one. The first, let me try. Unbearable temptation lies within. Let me just look at these. No, then it doesn't. It tells you which box it belongs to. I think it was like, oh, fuck this quiz, guys.
You're thinking too much.
No, I have to read too much. Unbearable temptation lies within.
James has trouble reading. That's why he doesn't like turning on the subtitles when I'm like, I can't fucking hear.
A shorter question that's just like, you like this or this. He's getting too many options, I think.
He's getting too bogged down in the details.
Yeah, it's too many. Give me A or B. That's it.
I guess I only open to the worthy. That's the one. Because then if I can't open it, I know I'm not worthy. And hey, no skin off my bone. Which instrument makes you pleased? A piano, because then you can get on.
Please don't skin your bone. Please don't.
Yeah, no skin off my bone.
Don't skin your bone.
That's a term.
I have never heard that until today.
You've never heard that's no skin off my bone?
No.
You're getting distracted. Finish the quiz.
This is why it takes so long.
See, it's more than 2
because
friggin'
you stopped
minutes.
And we're talking. You're also reading the questions.
Bones.
You're reading the questions slower than Alex Trebek on Jeopardy.
You find yourself in a room with 4 goblets before you. Which one? The inky black one, it makes you see, but there's
James
odd visions
would have
in
been
it.
awful at Knowledge Bowl.
What's not? No, don't tell. I'm trying to. Maybe one of you guys should have this in your hand, and then you read things. The silvery, glittery potion that appears to be crushed diamonds. I don't want that in my body.
That sounds like it will skin your bones.
Plums and chocolates. That's the one I want.
Skin your bones.
Skin that bone.
Crushed diamonds as lotion.
Ooh.
Sounds fancy, but not like FDA approved.
I'm just adding some more carbon to my skin.
The silver trees with golden apples.
Oh, yeah.
That would
You
be a
know,
good
I'm doing the wizard with the twinkly eye.
The twinkly eye.
All right.
But did you know there's champagne that like
it has gold flecks? Is that what you're going to say?
Well, back in the day,
finish.
Cleopatra used to add pearls to like
The
was
champagne?
it wine?
The wine? And drink it?
Imitated.
Because it releases bubbles, makes it bubbly.
I'm good on that. I'll just stick my pinky in and swish it a little bit.
I think this is not. this is things that I've heard. It may or may not be true. Fact check me, y'all.
Okay,
Cleopatra,
guys.
pearls
I'm
in
on.
drinks.
I think question 13 out of 27.
Oh my
Come
God.
on.
I know,
You read
it's
so
Just
slow.
click through anything. How did you take your ACT?
Yeah, you would not have finished your ACT.
Did you get additional time?
No, my ACT, I just put B for every answer.
Okay.
For most
So
of those.
you made it 21.
What? I don't even. I don't.
That's if you get lucky, that's the score you get from just answering B all the way down.
I think ACTs I actually did, but I just, once it started getting
Read your questions.
Yeah, you guys are the ones distracting me.
Jesus.
Which are you most looking forward to at Hogwarts?
The free drinks.
Free drinks,
I'm a wizard. I can always like refill my cup.
Those where that is, yeah, the feasts were where it's at. Like, I know they ran off during the feast at some points, and I'm like, nah, man. There's a whole ass turkey leg right there. I'm about to munch down.
They had that super long table from what I remember. So it was like Thanksgiving every day, right?
Yes. Well, not Thanksgiving foods, but yeah, a long ass table, lots of food piled up.
Do they not celebrate holidays at Hogwarts?
They do. They do.
Oh, okay,
they did
that's
have
good.
a Hollow's End and all that stuff.
Is it like summer camp? Do you get to go home, or is it more like college for Hogwarts?
It's more like college.
Okay.
Yeah, the students go home during the summer.
Okay.
And then they can go home during winter break or stay.
Nice.
But there's obviously no Thanksgiving because it's in England. It's not.
Gotcha.
Thanksgiving's an American holiday.
I understand.
Get
So
it.
they have
So I would have been there prepared for Thanksgiving, and they
Been
would have
like,
been
"Where's
like,
my
"What are you
Thanksgiving?"
doing?"
and like, give me that turkey, bitch. I want the turkey. And they're like, there's a troll in the dungeon, Rachel. And you're like, the troll can wait. Turkey.
Are the trolls
Got it.
bad?
It was in the first movie. There's a troll in the dungeon in the middle of the movie because they're trying to, kill children.
Is the troll different? Wait, are we doing spoilers? I think I might spoil it. No, everybody's seen this already.
If you have not seen Harry Potter.
Okay, is his name Hobby? The little friend
Dobby.
Dobby.
Which I
Thank
kept
you.
saying David.
Dobby.
I kept
Dobby.
saying his
Is he
name.
a troll? Or is he
no,
just a friend?
No, he's not a troll. He's a house elf.
Oh, they have elves here.
Yeah, but they're the short, like long-eared ones.
Oh, okay. I know that sounds
They're
bad.
more like Keebler elves, I guess. If you're rating elves, they're not like Lord of the Rings elves. It's not Legolas. Legolas is not in Harry Potter. He's not running around with a bow and.
But he was
long,
Harry's friend though, because I saw that he does not
Legolas
make it.
was not Harry's friend.
Oh, he
but
wasn't.
No,
Dobby,
but Dobby was.
Dobby
yeah.
was the friend.
Guys.
Yeah.
Dobby was the friend.
It reset again.
Oh my god.
It's resetting because it's like, you're not there anymore.
BuzzFriends.com. That's why I keep
Play
resetting.
Buzz.
I'm
So
gonna
screw
Google
this.
a quiz.
No, we need to start talking about this movie.
Right.
This was supposed to be a
Disobedience.
real quick thing.
Okay, so as you know, when we have a guest, the listeners know. You might not know, Rachel. I don't know if you've listened or not when we have a guest, but we usually get the guest to do a quick synopsis for us. So,
Oh boy,
bringing that
pressure's
on
on.
you. Yes.
Okay.
Beautiful.
It is
So go when you're ready.
movie about two women who were best friends when they were younger. They also were friends with another gentleman who actually ends up marrying one of the friends. Should I use names? Because this is going to get
You
confusing
can,
in a
yeah.
minute.
If you want.
Yeah, okay.
It can also be quick, whatever.
Yeah, so one of the friends' fathers dies, and the woman is in New York, and then the female friend and the male friend live in London, we assumed, or England, somewhere
Somewhere.
over there. New York friend shows up. She's not very cultural to what they do, and then the story just kind of takes off between like them rekindling their old school friendship and the struggle with dealing with the husband who kind of knows but doesn't know, and then how the community that they're in accepts some things but not all things. But ultimately, it's like a plot twist at the end. I don't even know how to describe the end. Sort of happy, sort of sad, sort of wanting
Yeah, because
more.
we don't know what really happens.
Yeah.
Wait, did you mention that they were lovers?
Yeah, so they were
Okay.
lovers when they were younger. Just the two girls, not
Yeah.
the guy. And then,
And then they become lovers once again.
yeah, in a very intricate way.
Yes. So, and then in the end, the husband lets her go free. That's what he says. We don't know if that means divorce.
He says that she's free because she wants the freedom for the child and herself, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
that's the story.
And that's
That's the
disobedient.
whole story.
Okay.
Rachel Weisz and Rachel McAdams were both very disobedient in their community.
Extremely disobedient.
This movie also has it's a Jewish community, an Orthodox Jewish community, I believe. So there's a lot of nuance that we probably just completely missed because no one in this
Absolutely.
room is Jewish.
Yeah.
I know definitely we were briefly mentioning Rachel McAdams' wig whenever we were starting to watch or starting to like see the movie because we were like, do not like that wig. And I was like, I think this might be a little, because there were a lot of women in wigs. So I was like, I think this might be a thing. So I looked it up, and the wig was used as sort of like a hair wrap in other religions. It's used to cover the natural hair,
Which
but it's
thank
still
you for
showing hair.
doing, because I had some big gripes that
So
I'll
that's
keep
why
pace
she
for.
had a big wig. And James talked a lot about wig caps and using
a
those.
big unkept wig.
But it like her
not very
it's
kept.
fine. It was so big so that she could just
But
slip
that's
it on.
all it
and
was. It was just big. They
was
didn't
just
do
big.
anything else
Yeah.
for it to be a wig. Like they just they were like, put this on, please.
Put this on, please.
And that was it.
Put it on. Put it on.
Put it on. And
Put it
also take it
on.
off.
Corwyn, don't scream at me.
Put it, James, you
No.
fucking James, put on
Nicole doesn't let me wear her wigs unless she's here.
Put on the wig, James.
No. She
on
thinks
the
it's
wig.
Disobedient.
weird.
We just watched a movie called Disobedient. You have-
Disobedience.
Be disobedient.
James can't spell.
Disobedient.
And James has a lot of offense with the English language. Like most rational human beings that learn the English language, it is a hot mess.
So can I say
sure.
one of the first notes I wrote
Do
down?
it.
So
Please.
during this, we see Rachel Weisz.
James also couldn't tell the difference between the
I could
characters.
not.
So like
He
he might
was
have the
very
character
confused.
wrong.
No, it was Rachel Weisz though, because
Yes.
she
Okay.
finds out that her father's dead,
Yes.
goes to a bar to kind of process, and starts hooking up, right?
Yeah,
Is that
but
what
we
you're talking
don't know if you guys said, "Oh, she's hooking up with a man."
That was a man.
But
I feel confident that was a man she was hooking up with.
And you guys said, well, it couldn't be a woman because like women don't have sex like that. And I said she could have a strap on. And then you guys, I think we're kind of like, no one's going to like carry that around.
That's a lot of work. I mean, you can carry that around. It's just a lot of work.
But then
I'm probably
I said,
not doing that at a bar.
Hey, maybe it's a strapless strap on. And you guys did not know what I meant.
Absolutely
and I
not.
felt like you guys were judging me of saying, James, this isn't a real thing. However,
we're saying it's a... I was
very confused as to what you said, and then when I heard it, I was like, "Wait, when did this become a thing?"
James said strapless, strap-on. I was like, "James, you're just talking about a penis."
Yeah.
And then
I just sent you pictures.
And then I was like, "That sounds like a dildo. It just sounds like a dildo
much.
that someone is using." And then Rachel thought it might have been a double-ended dildo, which is also
not
a thing. So neither Rachel or I, who are well versed in sex things, have heard of strapless dildos. Interesting.
So it's a device that you like. It's.
I'm pulling mine up. Hold on.
It like goes into the vagina,
it's like a little clamp.
snug. Yes, and it clamps onto the pelvis bone. And
oh no! I'm sorry. I'm not doing that. Not for a bar hookup. I'm not going. This is a lot of work. This looks like positioning. See, I don't.
No, you just like slap it up in there.
Yeah, but you still got to position that. Because if you slap it in the wrong way, it's going to slide out. It'll be uncomfortable.
Also,
or if you go to stroke and it's in the wrong way, then it's just going to like fall on then it falls on the public floor. No, I'm not doing this.
I think this is why we haven't heard of it, because strap-ons are just better. They stay on.
And it's only what, $33?
I have
$25.95.
I have seen pornography with this being used, and
was it straight pornography?
You're watching the wrong porn.
It's lesbian porn. Wait, why? How would it be straight pornography?
There's a thing called pegging, James. Jesus.
Oh yeah, you're right. That could also be done. That is straight, but it stays in. But now it just clicked in my head. If you were to loop it must clamp on very well, because
I don't think it I think she's literally holding that in there
yeah,
with
this looks like
with her vaginal muscles.
Like a little bit of thigh holding, and then like
she's done kegels for days. Is that how you say them? Kegels?
Yeah, because if you were to lube it up, it would also like go.
You got too much lube on, it's gonna come out.
I literally feel like this is just for taking a picture. I'm not sure how you can be active with this.
I've seen it done.
I might need you to send me that link. just for research purposes. Because I am not
if you go on Pornhub or any whatever pornographic website you prefer and search strapless strap-on or strapless lesbian.
No, James, she needs that to be sent.
I need to know what you watched that this came straight to your mind, because it was either...
Well, because I've also talked to TC about this.
TC uses this?
No.
No shame if they do. I'm just saying. I didn't get the memo. Like, is this? I'm not part of this. I feel left out now.
Do you remember the giant dick that was left out?
Oh yes, the giant handle dick.
Can we talk about that?
Sure.
Just like, okay, so
absolutely.
So Rachel, and then her, my roommate Mac and I all live together, and I come home. I come home one day, and then TC shows up like 2 minutes later. I came home, I like dropped my stuff down, and then TC walked in the door and went to go feed the cats. And I'm like, oh, what's up? Oh, I could have done that. Like, I'm here.
We had poor timing with cat feeding.
And because Rachel and Mac were like staying at a hotel or something like that.
Staycation.
A nice staycation. Beautiful time. And then TC is like, oh my God. And then like hides something. And I like see it. I'm like, okay. And for some reason we're talking, and then I find out it's like a giant black
I think it's
dick.
called like the Violator.
Yeah.
It's just, TC has told me about
it's
this.
Absolutely huge.
It's a big black dick on a handle that has controls. And when you hold it, you feel like you are the like proudest warrior that ever lived. Like it gives you confidence. Just by holding it. I haven't used it, as I do not want to be violated.
TC has told me to tell Nicole to get it to be used on me, and I
Jesus.
say, "Why? What are you talking about?"
Maybe
Stop being a weirdo.
Maybe just as like a collector's item. I don't know if I'd use it.
I don't know if I would use that. And
Yeah, it's
and
a
I've
little
seen
much.
some big things. I don't know if I would use that. Yeah, so TC, because Anissa had brought it over earlier, and TC thought that Anissa had just left it out, but it was
You're saying this so casual, like they just walk around like, yeah, Anissa came over with the dick,
Yeah,
and then TC
Anissa
stopped by with another dick. Why do we have so many dicks in this house?
Anissa brought the dick. TC stopped by and then saw the dick on Mac's bed and thought that it was just out, and then I had seen it. So TC like tried to hide it. I think TC thought that Anissa had, I don't know.
So there was a disconnect.
They had thought that I had seen it, and I hadn't. And then I got shown the dick. And then
It's a dick sword.
and then TC was like, "Oh," and
charge.
I'm like, "I'm gay. It's fine. I've seen that size." And then TC just ended up leaving it on the
Wait, IRL,
bench
you've
or
seen
something?
that?
The Violator? Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I meant like IRL. You've seen sizes that big.
Not that big.
Okay.
I've definitely seen some above average. Very
It's scary.
It's a lot to handle. So yeah, it got left out, and then Rachel and Mac came home, and Mac was like, "Oh Jesus."
That's about her.
Everyone
response.
thought Anissa had just left it out in the open, but it hadn't. It was everyone else thinking that Anissa left it out in the open that
maybe
showed
it wasn't
to me.
even Anissa. It was just like a dick fairy that just
It's a dick fairy that
left
dropped it off.
a big
it was
dick in the
it
house.
was hilarious, and I was just laughing so hard that I just had to sit down because we're all talking about this giant ass dick, and then Rachel and Mac are like swinging it around like a club.
It can be used as a weapon.
I feel like
Absolutely.
if
It's got some good weight to it.
if something similar to Stonewall happened today, I would enjoy a lot of queer folk walking around with those, just beating the shit out of people with it. Be
Absolutely.
beautiful.
That would be the first weapon of choice. I
That
sent
is
you a
actually
picture
what
if you'd
I
like to check
wanted.
it out.
I wanted Rachel Weisz, or not Rachel Weisz. I wanted Rachel McAdams. I wanted Esty to be on the stairs with David whenever he was being a dick, and
With
just
the Violator.
just take
And
the
just
Violator out,
smack
and just
him in the
smash
face.
the shit out of his face.
Yeah, that would have
would've
been really
incredible.
entertaining.
I have seen this before. This exact picture before.
Okay. I'm glad I picked one that you're familiar with.
Thank you.
It makes it all the better.
How
That
much
was-
are these?
Not sure. I think on the box it said it was like maybe 55, 60.
Because I think
Dildos are
just like
expensive.
finding a big stick would be better than like if you're trying to get into
No.
battle. No, if you're trying to.
Oh,
no, I'm
okay.
saying for a Stonewall situation. Jesus, guys.
I like the idea of hitting people with big old dicks. I like hitting homophobes with big old dicks.
A friend of mine once grabbed another friend's mom's dildo and threw it at him.
Is this like the movie Pride where she takes out the dildo and just like... burp, burp, burp?
No, this was so friend A's mom has a dildo. Friend B threw friend A's mom's dildo at friend A. So it was their own mom's dildo being thrown at them.
Why was that
had
out
a
of the
whole
room?
body
why
shiver.
did anybody have access to that?
Why was it
At
not
all.
hidden? Why it needs to be in the sock drawer?
Or left on the bed? Admire from afar.
I don't think
don't
my
touch
mom
it.
listens anymore. I once like was doing, I didn't know what it was, but I was like doing my parents. I used to have to clean their room and like tuck in their bed and stuff.
Be like, is that my bed? Am I sleeping in that bed?
That's very kind of you.
Well, no, I was forced to. I was
Oh,
told
okay,
to
then
do
that is
this.
not-
No.
I was like, okay.
And then as I was tucking in the bed, I felt something, and then like I pulled it out. Later on, I now realized because my sister, I guess, had also had the same experience. It was my mom's vibrator. Ugh.
Wow.
Okay, moms, if you want your children to do your chores for you and to make your bed and all of that, which first of all, like, don't be lazy. Do your own shit. Teach them to do their own shit. Come
Absolutely.
on.
You're responsible for your own bed.
I
Yeah,
mean, I'm
that's a very
fine with-
personal thing. But anyway, if you are going to be having your kids make your bed for you, please put your sex toys away.
Put it in a locked
Or
drawer.
warn me. Be like, hey, you're going to go clean the room and there's going to be a lot of things in there. So get ready. Get ready. Make it what are those games on your phone where you got to like find the hidden objects? Make it a game even.
Scavenger hunt?
Yes. Sex toy scavenger hunt.
I will never be making my future children do a sex toy scavenger. Those things will be put away properly. You got to clean them, and then you got to put them in their box.
Yeah.
They go there.
That's fair.
So you can put them back in your box. That's another
This is a very
term.
serious discussion, James.
Yes, a sex toy scavenger hunt for your children to have. So serious. I apologize that I did wordplay.
I should also apologize. Don't mothers listening or parents or anyone else, don't do the sex toy scavenger hunt.
Hey, also, Mom, if you do listen still, please don't follow up on this. I should have said that sooner because then
be mortified.
within the 2 minutes that I did not say that, she could have followed up with me.
What parent is not mortified that their child has found their sex toy that they have
might
used?
be open about like talking about sexual conversation.
Talking about it,
there.
yes,
Yeah.
great. Please be open, please, especially for sexual conversations, because a lot of that is very awkward. And I come from a very Christian background, so there's definitely some repression there. But yes, be open, honest, all of that. But don't let your children just like
Don't let them go on a scavenger hunt.
stumble into that. Just be aware. Like you can be open and honest and be like, this box is where all the things are. Don't touch the box. They're my things. If you need the things when you're older, you can get the things. But don't touch my box.
So would you give money to your child for a sex toy if they were
Not a
like hey, I
child.
want- Oh, well, not like a child, but let's say they're of age to have sex. They're, sexually responsible. And they're like, I want to do this, but I don't know where to start.
No, because they should have to. This is like, oh, I got whooped, but I don't believe that, just so everyone knows. But in the sense that you should feel the struggle to have to improvise to masturbate.
What?
Just like I had to improvise to masturbate.
No.
I think I would give the money and say, do what you need to do. Just don't buy drugs. And if you buy drugs, then tell me what kind so we can do them together.
I would read some parenting books, but ultimately I would probably be like, yeah, we can. I would, yeah. Let's. Okay.
Yeah.
If you want a good sex toy book, Nicole has a few called "Oh Joy Sex Toy."
I'm gonna borrow that later. Just kidding. I don't need that.
I need it. I'm behind on the strapless strap.
Actually, maybe I should because I also didn't know about that. But I also have no need for that function.
I understand.
So,
So yeah, that probably wouldn't be a top 10.
Yeah, I am a male with a penis, and I typically sleep with males with penises.
You have a strapless strap already.
Yeah, I already got it. I ain't got no straps.
Strap included.
I mean, sometimes some straps are fun, but that's another topic completely. I have a lot of notes about this movie, and I never talked about them.
Yes, I was like,
James is like, okay, so we learned about Corwyn's trauma last week, and this week we're learning about sex.
No, I'm completely fine with this conversation. However, usually you're like, hey, James, please get refocused. I'm in awe of you today.
Rare form.
So, I mean, I'm getting ready because our next episode is going to even be more crazy. As far as like trying to wrangle and all of that. So I'm just.
Oh, do you know
whatever.
the guest?
Yeah.
Who's the guest? Shout him out.
Why? We'll find out.
Oh my.
Mystery guest.
I'll tell you after. We'll find out. I'm not going to shout him out because if if something happens and it changes, then I don't want the audience to be disappointed. I want them to be shocked, surprised.
Wait, is this someone we know or
it is someone we know.
That sounds like all
It's
of the
two
reactions
people.
in that scene that we're going to discuss later.
Oh,
I was
my
in
God.
shock.
We need to
I was in
discuss
awe.
that scene
I
like
was
now.
surprised.
We are 40 minutes into this podcast, have not talked about anything from this movie. I hate old people. Because they were all so mean.
They were the worst.
There was only that one old lady at the end that
because she minded her business. She wasn't in there that much. She was in there for a little bit, but what she did? She kept to herself.
Ronnie was like, I'm here to honor my father. And that old lady was like,
go ahead, girl.
She was like, I know.
Do you?
I know.
Absolutely.
I know you're here to honor him. Even though her father was a dick. He disowned her.
He was so petty.
The obituary didn't even have her name in it. Sadly, the Rav doesn't have any children.
The dad dies, leaves everything to the synagogue.
Yeah.
And then she's trying to sell the house, but then later finds out that she can't sell the house.
Because
and then the article
synagogue
is
owns
like,
it.
he was childless. And she's like, I am right here.
She's like, I'm here.
In the flesh.
And everyone just kind of ignores her or is like, ooh, she's the bad one.
They're
She's
so
gone
shocked. They're almost offended that she showed up. They're just like, oh, you're here. Well, yeah.
Didn't realize you'd be here.
What did you expect? My dad died. Like,
they didn't even tell her. We find out later that
Esty.
Yeah, I'm like looking at my notes. What's her name? Esty.
Esty.
Tells her because Esty wants her to come because she wants to come.
Now you and James have switched the box.
I was like,
to
does
the coming.
he know what he said?
I do know what I said.
He set that up.
So yeah, Esty feels very imprisoned.
She is trapped in that marriage.
Yeah,
absolutely.
and that is a good topic for us to have in Pride. And there's honestly not enough time to delve into that completely, but there's definitely a lot of queer people in this day and age, and even in the past, that have felt trapped. And especially a lot of younger queer people feel trapped in their lives because they can't come out, they can't be honest with themselves, and they end up being stuck with like overtly religious parents or whatever and not being able to express themselves. So we have a long history
which
of
leads
people
to disobedience.
Leads to disobedience. Or in
Obedience.
the worst case, we have a lot of young queer people who end up taking their own lives or falling into deep depression and getting anxiety and things like that, on top of the normal anxiety that our young people experience in this day and age. And they end up, with health issues from that, because depression, it is a disease that attacks your mind. And a lot of it, there's memory issues and things like that. So like you get damaged by it, like physically
absolutely.
damaged by it. So it's good that we see something like this. We see her finally, she's pregnant at the end, and she says to David, her husband that she was forced into marriage with, she says, I want to be free. For the kid, I want to be free. And she does get her freedom. At the end, he acknowledges her, saying that she's free and that freedom is a gift for all of humanity and that no one should feel trapped, and that she is free. So that's a beautiful message that we have at the end of the film. Yeah, and David also is great in acknowledging, God, I forget her name.
Ronit.
Ronit.
Ronit. She was Ronnie when she was in the U.S., and then when she got over there, they changed it to Ronnie. Ronit.
That was her original name. So he acknowledges that she is the Rav's child. So we do get a nice ending there in that. But throughout the whole movie, it's very frustrating to see a lot of people look at her like she's less than because she is disobedient and not adhering to their standards in women and things like that. So you have this whole story, this whole frustrating thing where you're like, oh my God, I hate all of these people. And then finally at the end, you have them, vindicated in their disobedience in a way, because David, who is the prodigal son, the one that's going to go and become the next, the replacement for the Rav and all of that, he turns down the position and is like, no, like,
he's like, I can't handle this. I can't do this right now.
Yeah. I forget what he said specifically, but he was like, I don't understand enough for this.
Yeah. He's still learning. And he realized that.
And he realized that, he realized that a lot of what he was doing and what his family was doing and stuff like that, to people like Rachel McAdams' character, it was repressing them. Like, she was literally caught by the Rav with the Rav's daughter in intercourse, and the Rav was like, you're sick in the mind, and to cure that, we're going to marry you off to David. So it's like, she's not sick, and that's not a cure. Like,
it was sad to see that was the answer that they just decided was going to work.
Yeah. So there's a lot in this movie and a lot that you can talk about with that. But you wanted to talk about that one scene, the big scene.
Oh my gosh. Okay. They went from like 0 to 1,000. They jet past 100 and just went to 1,000. Through the entire movie, they're doing like these, and I had a little checklist, and I'll just touch on a few. When you are in a secret lesbian relationship, don't look at each other. Just don't. Close your eyes. Leave the room. Those longing looks that they gave each other, it just builds tension and you're gonna like explode. And I think that's what happened when they finally snuck off and went to some other part of town and got a hotel and just went strapped to the wall, balls to the wall, everything to the wall, to the floor, from the windows, everywhere. Like, it was just so much.
There is a so much big sex scene
in there.
It's not like you don't really see anything.
I wasn't expecting that from them.
You don't really see anything, but it's still very graphic in a way.
It was tame in a like kinky way, almost. Like, it wasn't a bunch of like, oh, they're naked. Oh, I see. Like,
Rachel Weisz spits in Rachel McAdams' mouth, like
she
multiple
is
times,
like spitting in her mouth,
like way above her, lots of space, and just spitting down in there. And I'm like,
3 times.
I did not see that coming. I think that was the plot twist for me.
I don't know. Like, that would be I don't know how I would feel if someone did that to me. I'd be like, what the fuck? Like,
I keep
you could
forgetting
kiss me,
that
that's
they're
fine,
like,
but like spitting into my mouth.
I think that is that pent up.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I've wanted you not only since you've been here, but I've wanted you since we were teenagers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, but I forget that because they don't really show us their background.
Yeah.
So when it was happening, I was like, oh, it's kind of like y'all just met and you're just taking it there. Like, this is a bit intimate for me.
Yeah.
But they definitely did that. And then she started fingering her and then was just like wiping it all over her mouth.
I'm fine
licking
with
her
that.
lips like an ice cream cone. I'm okay with it. I was not okay with it coming from them because they did not set me up for that. So I was literally sitting in there. I was like the parent that walks in and sees a sex scene on the TV. I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? Turn this off.
Like, we're sitting there, we're seeing the nice people that are like, oh, we just do missionary. There's nothing else. Like,
they weren't even being that freaky.
It's,
there was some hand holding, a few kisses here and there, and then they just went.
We see a nice cutesy love story, and then suddenly they're freaky, and we're like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, like,
if we had seen that
out the box.
If we had seen that pizzazz from the beginning, we're like, "Yes."
Also,
love it.
I think it kind of is like when you are a teenager, you don't know what sex is or should be. So you do weird stuff like that. They might be kind of transferring their teenage relationship and just starting from there and doing this weird stuff.
Yeah, because Esty has been in a straight relationship for so long and sleeping with a man, even though she's not attracted to men at all. And they even discussed that. That
when
she's
I
not
was
attracted
a teen,
to men.
I was not spitting in other women's mouths. I don't know what kind of trend. Maybe that's how they do it in the UK. Get down how you live. I mean,
I'm saying
go for
things
it.
like looking into a vagina. You think like, hey, this is something new to me. So you like look into a vagina.
I don't know if that's new to them because they're both women.
Unless you have like a mirror.
Exploring another woman's vagina.
Yeah.
And that experience.
I mean, I don't think it was like a romantic thing. An ex of mine in high school and I like transferred chewed up Snickers into each other's mouths.
Okay. I'm here
I don't
for
know.
that.
The first time that I saw a penis, I wasn't like, oh, this is new. Like, I understand this.
Yeah, but I'm saying like you don't know what sex, but like, or other people know what I'm talking about.
You don't know what sex is until you're having sex? Is that what you're saying?
Not even that. Even when you have sex, you don't know what is the best way to do it. So
the best way to do it is communication and consent.
Yes, that is actually
and consent. Just
2 C's.
PSA. There's probably more that we can go into, but
yeah,
make sure you got those.
Let's put those at the very top.
Very top of the list. 1 should be consent. Number 1,
yeah.
And then number 2, communication. Come on.
But as a teenager, you don't know the communication part of like, hey. You don't know that, hey, is this good for you? If not, please tell me.
I mean, that also goes on to our sex education in the United States and talking about sex and not, repressing it. And
actually, I should have...
pretending like it doesn't exist.
I should have started this in a complete... You don't know what you like, so you want to try everything. Yeah. And that's where I should have started out with this.
But Rachel McAdams is like a 30-year-old woman.
But she hasn't been having sex with this woman.
she hasn't
the
had
other
sex with other
woman
women for a
had
while.
sex with
The other
another
woman, yeah.
Yeah.
Rachel Weisz hasn't had sex with other women. She said she's had sex with a lot of men, which I do like that this movie does have diversity in our queer characters, and that Rachel Weisz's character is a bisexual woman. We can infer she may be pansexual or anything that includes other genders and things like that. But we do know that she does sleep with men and she sleeps with women. And then Rachel McAdams' character she's a lesbian woman, but she is
Living
in a
the
straight
lifestyle
marriage.
of a straight,
so
yeah.
she's sleeping with a straight man for years. Why are you...
I think it's weird that we're trying to find the symbolism of someone spitting in another person's mouth.
I moved on from that. I gave up. I moved on. I'm like, all right, diversity. Let's talk about that. There's not a lot of diversity. Well, there's some diversity in that a lot of the characters in the movie are Jewish, which is great that we're seeing that sort of diversity in the film, because Jewish people and the Jewish faith are very specific. So I'm glad we see that, but we don't really have any other people of color in the movie. So
Because the UK's white as fudge. 87% of the people in the UK are white.
and the one person of color we saw in the movie was in New York,
Yeah.
Minding her business.
minding her own business. So yeah, I mean, some diversity, some not diversity. So I mean, I still always encourage filmmakers and artists to include people of color in their art, because people of color exist and people of color deserve to be able to see themselves in
are
media.
here. We are around. We're not watching your we'd like to watch more of your films if you would include us, please.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Beautiful.
I was
Love it,
going to
Rachel.
say, yeah, there were more people of color, but then I remembered those were just trailers we watched.
Yeah, those were trailers we watched. We did have a movie that we'll hopefully watch in the future that looked like it was a lot more diverse and had a lot more people of color in it, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
yeah, that's to be said. Please put more diversity. Love that we had a movie with Jewish people in it and the Jewish faith, because I don't really know much about it. So, and especially in this current political climate, they are some of the people, along with queer people, that are being persecuted pretty much by terrible people and Nazis. Why do Nazis exist?
I wasn't even sure that this movie was going to have a happy ending, because the whole time, and maybe that was just my view, I just thought it was going to get violent. I thought they were going to do something violent to Rachel McAdams for
too.
not only being caught as an adult, which I say caught because they caught them, but you can't catch a grown folk. But that really pissed me off. It's just like, how is this going on for so long? And they're okay with it, and not okay with it in the sense of oh yeah, thumbs up, but that there weren't quicker repercussions or even more possibly violent things that happened, especially with David. Because they already questioned his integrity kind of, and his man of the house character in one of the scenes where they're like, is your wife going to be distracted by your guests? And he's like, no, my house is in order. And it certainly was not. But
and what is that keeping your house in order? It's just it sounds like a bunch of misogyny, and I want it to go the fuck away, because that's not even his thing. But I also, that could be a religious thing. But if misogyny is a part of your culture, question it and change it. And I'm saying that from someone that is in a Christian, Baptist Christian background. There is a lot of misogyny in there. And that's why I'm not very prevalent in that community, because I'm I don't like that. I don't want it. So yeah, do better, people. I am very proud of David at the end, turning and having that growth.
Yeah, that immediate growth too.
Yeah, it
wasn't hateful either. I was expecting a little bit of hate for him to just be like, okay, fine, leave, you're free, do whatever. But when they're at the very end, they all hug.
Yeah,
all three of them come together after David announces he's not going to take the position, and that
And that
the
Rachel
daughter's
McAdams
there,
is free.
and she's free. They all come outside and they have like a very nice like we are
Rachel-
still friends at the end of this, you know, like
Rachel
Yeah, that's how I
McAdams
took
comes
it,
out
too.
and gives him a hug, and then he puts his hand out for Rachel Weisz's character, and they have a nice
that
group
was a
hug,
very
and,
touching moment.
and
yeah,
especially
for sure.
because like in the beginning, Rachel Weisz goes to like touch him and stuff like that, and it's like no, he can't touch him.
He pulls back quick too,
And that happens throughout the movie with Rachel Weisz and the other male characters and stuff. So at the end, he allows her to like touch his face. So it's like, whoa, okay. That's just an intimate thing. So we're seeing more intimacy between them as friends because we know through the movie they grew up together. Rachel Weisz, Rachel McAdams, and David's character. Yeah. They all grew up together. So to see that friendship like start again, especially like in the house when he like comes out and Rachel Weisz is leaving in the morning, he's like, very like, oh, here's your bag.
He's
blah, blah, blah.
friendly.
Yeah,
he
very
doesn't
friendly.
treat her like an outcast. He's not like, get out of here. He helps her with the bag. He says good morning. He even says good morning to his ex-wife, which I found incredibly
she's
like strong of him. I was just like, oh, you're still speaking? Like, I like that he wasn't immature about it.
Yeah.
I think that was the big takeaway for me is that he was dealing with something he wasn't expecting really.
Yeah.
That came out of nowhere on top of learning he now has a child, on top of having his next big job, and it all kind of just crashed before his eyes. But he was still like, I'm still a person. I am still learning. I can still be kind in my own way. So I really like that he did that.
So overall, there's a lot of good stuff in this movie. There's definitely, they build tension very well.
Oh, yes.
So well. And especially like tension among like us or me as an American viewer who is not in a formal religion like that, seeing like how people are being treated and stuff like that. It was causing me distress and building tension for me. But I'm like, I also don't know anything about that cultural background. I don't know anything about it in a sense that I have any authority to speak on it or what it's about. So it's beautiful to watch stuff like that. So I think that we chose a good movie. I think overall it was a good movie to choose.
We made a good choice.
And it didn't have a sad ending, which a lot of queer movies tend to have.
We all thought it was going to end in murder or suicide.
We all did because they even talk about Shakespeare in the movie. They talk about Othello specifically, and Othello and the handkerchief Othello gives to Desdemona and stuff like that. The symbolism behind that, and then we have Rachel McAdams specifically talking about that. So I'm like, God, is it going to end like Othello, which ends with Othello strangling his wife and then killing himself? So thankfully that didn't happen.
Yeah, because we were ready. We were like, oh my gosh.
It also like filmed like a horror movie sometimes. Like Rachel McAdams was walking down a tunnel and Rachel and I were both like, oh my God.
She kept checking over her shoulder. I'm like, oh, what's that? I was waiting for the brim of like the hat of David to just come around. I was like,
we were like,
no.
Jesus, what is happening?
And the concept of choice is brought up a lot in the movie. And I think in the beginning, Weisz talks about if she would have stayed in that community, she would have had to be married off and then either got depressed and killed herself or got depressed and wanted to kill herself. And I think with David talking about Dovid, I'm not saying.
I think it was Dovid.
Yeah, Dovid.
Dovid, yeah.
As he was talking about choice from the Rav before he died, I think what he realized is if he stayed in that marriage, it would have ended with him or her killing someone. So he said, I need to make the choice to either keep going down that path. And I think with the tension being built up, it was trying to trick us into thinking, will it end like this or will it end like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did a real good job. Because even at the beginning, right before her father dies, he is saying, we've got angels, we've got demons, we've got choices. And he doesn't get to finish his sentence because he dies. So I think they did a very great job of like finishing that sentence at the end of the movie, but having a total different perspective of it coming together.
Beautiful. It's a good movie.
Yeah, they wrapped it up nicely.
I would recommend people watch this. Overall, what do you think, Rachel?
Definitely. Check it out.
And James, I know you didn't enjoy it as much, but
Maybe it's because I'm hungry and about to pass out. That could have been a contributing factor. Or maybe cut some of the middle out.
It's slow paced for sure, but it moves. It moves along.
It's a slow pacing, but James is like, we're like 15 minutes in, and I looked at him like, we're 40 minutes in, James. He's like, what? So it has a slow pace in the sense that you see a lot of building tensions and things like that. But as far as the time moves and it bringing you and drawing you in, that movie does it very well. Because by the end, I still don't. The movie's almost 2 hours, and I still don't feel like we watched it for 2 hours. There were maybe like one or two spots that I was like, all right, this is dragging a little bit, but that was just very, very short amount of time. And I think one of the spots was the graphic sex scene. I'm oh Jesus, when is this gonna end?
But it's nowhere near a eating out.
Oh no, it
deal.
wasn't. And no. I say graphic, but it wasn't even graphic. There was nothing graphic. It was very
visceral.
Visceral is a very good word to use for that. I had it in my mind, and then I was starting to say it, and then you said it. I'm like, yes, good. Same page.
Yes.
So yeah, it's a very visceral scene. Definitely would be awkward if your parents walked in when you were watching it, and you don't have discussions about things like this. But yeah, so I definitely would recommend watching it.
Still watch it. Check it out.
Even if a spouse of yours walked in and saw the mouth spitting thing, they'd be like, "Ooh, are they into that?"
I heard some noises in here, the recording room, not when we were in there watching the movie, and I was like, "Oh God, is Nicole gonna walk in during this scene?" It didn't happen, so that's fine.
I mean, it opens a discussion. If your spouse does see it, then you can learn. What were you just saying? You can discover.
You can learn. You can communicate. You can talk about the ravisher. Is that what it was called?
The Violator.
The Violator.
The Violator.
You can talk about the Violator. Talk about it as much as you want. Before we wrap things up, because we're starting to get to that time, I wanted to ask you, Rachel, since we are in Pride and all of that, what does Pride mean to you?
Pride, I believe, for myself, it's really about coming together and honoring everybody's differences and doing it in a respectful way, in an empowering way, and really just putting that message out there that we are still people, whether we are lesbian, gay, bisexual, intersex. We are still a group of people who want to be treated like people, and we need that recognition. Because a lot of what you said about it doesn't get talked about in households or how to deal with certain things, we can come and be around other people that are like-minded or maybe experiencing the same thing, maybe not experiencing the same thing, but talk with them and really just take that time to celebrate that we are here and that we are doing this, and we are going to keep doing this because we need to know about these things. We need to be proud of who we are and what we're doing and not be hidden from that. So I think Pride is definitely about coming together and celebrating our differences, celebrating ourselves, and celebrating other people in that whole time frame.
What a beautiful answer. I love that a lot.
Thank you.
And I think that's a good note to sort of end on.
Yeah.
Do you have anything that you want to add, James, for the movie or Pride or anything?
No. I can't follow that.
All right, great. Rachel, you have anything else you want to talk about before we head out?
No, I think we're good. I know we talked about some heavy stuff. If anyone is in a very strict household or strict relationship, please feel that you can seek help and get help and feel valued. And I hope that not by us talking about this triggered anyone, but I love you. If you are out there and you need someone to confirm that and you are fine just the way you are, be proud of who you are and don't hide that from yourself or anyone else.
Yeah.
See, this is why Rachel's the MVP and why she is here today talking with us.
Thank you for having me on your show, too.
Of course.
I'm very honored.
Thank you for coming in and watching.
Podcaster.
Ooh.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for coming and watching this movie and helping us choose a movie to settle on.
Do you have any social media you would like to plug?
Nah, I don't do anything.
Okay.
Cool.
I'm an old person. I have Instagram and I have Facebook, but it's Rachel Daniel Walters is my Facebook, my full name. And then my Instagram is, I think, RDW21.
Alrighty.
Yeah. We'll try to add that to the description. I'm
I
saying
will.
Will, but it's
Thank you.
James. I think we should also throw something in there about some resources to get help.
Send me those and I will.
I will send that to you
Yes,
so that you
we'll
can
post
include
it.
that.
Hyperlinked.
That's especially something important to keep in mind this month, because this is the month that a lot of pressure is put on queer youth to come out and things like that. I know there's a heartbreaking story online. Not heartbreaking, it's warming, but it is heartbreaking of like seeing, queer kids on the bus, like with the pride merch or like, rainbows painted on them or tattoos and things like that. And like, going home on the bus and slowly taking all of that off and like trying to get their tattoos off and just
you got to strip that.
sobbing because they can't get it off and they're worried about how that's going to affect them getting home, and if they're going to be safe getting home and things like that, because it is Pride, it is World Pride and all of that, but it's still not completely safe for us in the world. There's a lot of hate towards queer communities and queer people in general.
Absolutely.
There's still hate crimes that happen every day, all the time. So that's something to be very aware of, and we need to protect ourselves and each other, especially in this time where we're trying to be visible, where we're trying to first protest and then also celebrate each other. So that all saying, we'll try to put some resources on here for you. If you are queer youth that is listening to this, or queer youth that experiences things like this, that do need protection, please protect each other. That all to get to my social media. Please follow us at This Movie's Gay on Twitter. And then my social media specifically is at Corwynning. It's just my name with ING at the end.
Corwynning.
I've got
Winning.
I've got Twitter, Instagram, all of that good stuff. So go ahead and follow me. And then Saltbox Theater Collective is the theater company I am a part of. And we are doing a show in July. If you're interested, the information is on the website. All of that is included in the descriptions. Saltbox Theater Collective, we are doing the Scottish play Macbeth. I am playing
Theater of
Angus.
the mind, don't say it.
So come see me do that. Come see me perform. And that are my plugs. Those are my plugs. That
Hey,
are my
guys,
plugs.
Check out my other podcasts, mostly Speak in Sentai, What the Hell Mouth with TC, Rachel's longtime friend. And this Wednesday will be my first episode on Hit It and Crit It. It's a Dungeons and Dragons podcast where normally you're trying to be the good guys to save the world. No. We're trying to ruin it. And it's great. The first episode I did, it'll be episode 19. You can start there if you'd like. It's hilarious. It was super fun. Check it out. Also, check out my rap musics under Marshland Monster. New CD, King Kaiser X, Godzilla influenced. I self-produced it. All of this can be found on MLMpod.com. I've been James.
Real quick, I also want to say thank you to everyone that has said happy birthday to me since we said it on the podcast and everything. As you know, I turned 27 on the 25th, but for the 27th episode that was released on Monday, the 27th, a lot of 27s there.
27.
So thank you all. I appreciate it. It made me feel a little emotional to get happy birthdays and stuff from strangers.
Randos. See.
Not even randos, just people I've seen liking our stuff and everything. I really appreciated it and I really loved it. So thank you so much. And
I've been James.
I've been Corwyn.
And I am Rachel.
Yeah. Bye.
I thought you were just telling me I needed to go up a note because
no.
I was off, but
I was saying thumbs
Corwyn
up.
kept
Good job.
thumbs up. Also, one quick thing. Corwyn's got some really cool looking shorts on and I wish I had them.
They're rainbow.
Pride shorts.
Tie-dyed. Pride shorts. They don't fit.
Bye. Oh, hey, Jinx. This has been a Marshland Media production, produced by James McCullum. For more content, please visit mlmpod.com. To support our network and have access to exclusive podcasts, head over to patreon.com/MLMpod and sign up today.